What's up guys, today I'll be having a look at this, the AEON Pro Blaster by DartZone. The AEON Pro is a pistol size equivalent of the Nexus Pro, and it's sold at Walmart in the US and Canada for $25. This one here was sent to me by Chills from Discord, but if you live in Australia, I'll leave a link down below to Blaster Tech where you can order one of these locally. Taking it out of the box is simple, it's held in by a few straps. My first impressions are that it's pretty chunky for a pistol. Also, included in the box are some spare replacement O-rings for the pusher breech, 12 half-length darts, a half-length mag adapter, and a plastic flash hider. In terms of build quality, the AEON Pro definitely has some flex to it. The plastic can twist on the slide, the entire receiver, and especially the grip. The top slide also looks like it should go further forward than it does, but internally it physically can't. This plastic front muzzle piece can fit a mega dart or a rival ball inside of it to shoot. Both are inferior to half-length darts, so I'd personally never do that, but some people consider that to be a feature. The AEON Pro has a small piece of Picatinny top rail. It's very far forward though, so putting any kind of optic on it is going to look really silly. For the accuracy test later though, I'll be using this red dot sight, but if I was actually going to use this blaster for real, I'd definitely go without one. I like that DartZone have chosen to only include half-length darts with it. Half-length darts are much better than full-length darts, but it would have been even better if the magwell itself was half-length as well. That way they could have done away with the adapter entirely. The same as with the Nexus Pro, the adapter can take the included mag which holds 12 darts. It can also take a worker TALON mag, such as this 18 round capacity one, and it can also take a Jet Blaster KATANA mag which holds 15 shots. To fire the blaster, pull back the slide which cocks the spring-loaded piston and allows you to insert a mag with some darts in it. Push the slide forward to close the breech and chamber your first dart. Rag the slide again to cock and load subsequent shots. I wouldn't say the prime is very difficult, but young kids might like the strength to use this one. The AEON Pro also has a breech lock, which prevents you accidentally opening the breech once a dart's been loaded. If you did want to open it again to perhaps load a second dart for a shotgun effect, there is a small button on top you can press to disengage the lock. So now I'm going to crony the AEON Pro in its stock configuration, because straight after that I'm going to open it up and do some upgrades. Straight out of the box, it got an average of 159 feet per second, which is pretty good for a pistol blaster. Now, included with my parcel was this upgrade spring from Foam Pro Shop in the US. It's a 14 kilogram spring, so let's open up the blaster, install this, as well as discuss some of the internals. Okay, so much like the Nexus Pro, the barrel is very short for the air volume of the cylinder, and it also doesn't seal in any way to the breech. Rather, this small barrel, it just sits between two pieces of plastic. This is only a $25 blaster though, so you can't expect it to be perfect. To change the spring, remove the catch and now access the back of the cylinder. The end cap rotates off, and you can simply remove the spring. It's definitely a beefy spring, but what I've got here is much stronger. So now just doing everything in reverse, twist the end cap back on, and replace the cylinder and the catch. Now, if you wanted to, while you've got it open, you could remove some locks. This one here above the cylinder is what stops you racking the slide once a dart's already been loaded. If you like to shotgun two darts at the same time a lot, you might consider removing that one, but I won't be. Instead, the only lock I want to remove is the second one, which prevents depriming the blaster. With an upgraded spring, you don't want to be dry firing this after removing your mag just because you're done using it for a while. There's two pieces to remove to allow depriming. First, the long orange piece under this screw, and secondly, this transparent piece directly above the trigger, which requires undoing two screws to access. With everything back together, I can prime the blaster, and by holding the trigger in and slowly sliding forward, I can now deprime the blaster. This upgraded spring is very heavy, and on the AEON Pro it barely catches. But now let's head over to the crony and get some updated numbers. So beforehand on the stock spring it was getting 159 average, and now with the upgraded spring it's only gone up 2 FPS to 161. The velocity has stayed the same, even with the much heavier prime. I'd have to suggest it's the barrel being far too short for the air volume preventing the upgraded spring from actually achieving anything. That, or the air seal between the barrel and the breech. I don't really want to make the barrel longer on something that's meant to be a pistol, so unless you also make your barrel much longer, I don't see any point using the upgraded spring. With it, it barely catches, and all you'd be doing is putting extra wear on your blaster and your wrist. So I'll be swapping back to the stock spring in mine, but before I do, let's give the AEON Pro an accuracy test. Now I'm just going to remove this muzzle piece. To me it looks kind of dumb and it offers no benefit to the blaster. Instead I'll press fit a worker rifled barrel, which does improve accuracy, and yeah, I have my chunky red dot sight on it to make sure my results are accurate for you guys. I'll be shooting at a human sized target from 30 meters away, using a tripod to stabilize the blaster. That's better. Higher. Let's shoot our set. That was a bit wide. That's it. Not bad at all for a cheap pistol blaster. Aside from that one shot slightly to the left, the AEON Pro shot on target or very close to it at 30 meters. It's not quite as accurate as something like a Caliburn or a long shot, but for a pistol, where you'll likely be up close and personal with your opponents, it's definitely accurate enough. The 14 kg spring from Foam Pro shop makes the AEON Pro very hard to cock, and unless you extend the barrel a bunch and give it an actual air seal, I don't see a point to it. I do think this is a great little blaster to use without any optics, just keeping it as low profile as possible and sneaking close to your enemies. I do wonder whether they could have made it even more compact by doing away with the full length dart compatibility. Maybe that's something they could look into for future designs. If you live here in Australia, don't forget to check out Blaster Tech if you want to pick up one of these blasters. That's all for this video, and as always, thanks for watching. See ya.